All right, hi everyone. Today is tutorial Thursday. So this month we're going to focus on the foreclosure and short sale market. And why is because I believe, in my opinion, it's going to be more foreclosures in the pipeline. I think in starting next year, in January, when all the forbearances and all the things that's happening is going to take its toll. So what I want to talk about today is really, for those that don't know me, my name is Paul Kim. I am the founder of Real Estate Life 360, and I also have a real estate business and a marketing business. And so today I'm going to talk about how to determine if you need to do a short sale on a foreclosure transaction. So as an investor or an agent, when a homeowner comes to you and they're in a situation where they have stopped paying the mortgage and they're delinquent on their mortgage. And so how do you determine whether it's a short sale or not? Because it may not be that the case where the homeowner is in foreclosure. You may not need to do a short sale, and how do you determine that? So basically, when the market value is more than the mortgage balance, then typically, then and there's equity in the property, then you don't need to do a short sale. It's when the market value is less than the mortgage balance is when, so basically the proceeds from the closings cannot cover the mortgage balance, and that's when you need to do a short sale. And it's basically asking the bank, and submitting a short sale application and asking the bank to say, hey, I don't have enough to pay the balance off. So can you waive the balance or or can we short the payoff? So that's basically why it's called a short sale. And so how do we quickly determine that is there are mainly five and I'll show you, and I'll tell you at the end of this live cast exactly, I mean, the fast way to do it. But basically, there are five items or five values you need to know in order to determine whether you need to do a short sale or not, or whether you need to do a short sale. And the first one is, let's go. Let me write it down. Is the first one that you need to know is market value. Okay, and so market value. Now, that's not a value that you get from Zillow. In my opinion, is if you're going to determine the market value, that's the as is value of the property in similar conditions, similar shape, size, um, you know, model, whatever you call that. If it's a three-bedroom, two-bath, it's a three-bedroom, two-bath, and you're going to compare it. The best way to determine that is you need to go and ask a realtor, or if you want to pay for it, you can get an appraisal. But it's probably best to go get the advice from a competent realtor that is in your area and ask for comps and what is my property worth. And so and that's if you're a real estate agent or investor, you would know that, and you would be able to figure out the market value, right? And so you have a market value. Let's just say hypothetically it's 500,000. Okay, that's the average private value around where I live in this area. So the next item that you will need to know is the realtor commission. And why do you need to know the realtor commission? And I'm typing this in as we go along. Sorry about that. So I know this by heart, so I don't have any presentation today. So for those that join me right now, what we're doing is right now we're determining whether you need to do a short sale on a foreclosure transaction. Not all foreclosures may not necessarily need to do a short sale or not. And so we're just doing some calculations right now. And so the first item that we talked about is the market value. The second item that you need to determine is realtor commission. And so um, most banks, if you're going to do a short sale, you're going to want to the bank is going to require that you put the property up for, with a realtor so that you can market the property to try to get the highest value or highest offer for that house, if you're trying to sell it. And so you're going to 6% is the typical bank's amount that most banks will allow, and so you're going to calculate 6% into the equation. So you got the market value minus the realtor commission at 6%. All right. And then the next item that you will need to know is the attorney fees. Okay. So the bank will pay for attorney fees. Now, different attorneys will charge differently depending upon what their fees are, anywhere from, average maybe 800 up to, 15, 2000. And so the range varies, and more sometimes, because attorneys know that in a short sale transaction, the transaction the first transaction may not close, and so they have more work that needs to be done. Especially, we're talking about the attorney fees for the seller. So we're talking about two. We're talking about not the buyer's attorney fee, but the seller's attorney fees. All right, and so now there are situations with short sales where the bank may limit the fees of attorneys, but we're not talking about that. We're just doing some rough numbers to determine whether we need to do a short sale or not. So we got the first item, which is the market value, right? This is what you're going to sell, where you're going to put the contract, where you think is going to get the value or offer, and then you minus the realtor commission, and then you subtract the attorney fees, and then the fourth item, which is I believe we're on four. Yeah, fourth item we're talking about is the transfer fees, any fees associated with transferring the property, and that's typically in New Jersey, it's the seller that's responsible for the realty transfer fee, and so it may not be in other states, but in specifically with New Jersey, it is um, the cost for the sellers to incur, and so there is certain transfer fee that's associated with that, and so you subtract that amount, and then the last item, which is something that may be overlooked a lot, is property taxes, because depending upon when you close on that transaction, the property taxes may be due, and so you have to take that into consideration. And so calculate all that amount, and that will determine what is coming out of that transaction. And if that amount is more than the mortgage balance, then you have to do a short sale. Okay. Now, that's a quick, if you want to do so I promise you at the at the very beginning what's a quick way. So the quick way to do it is calculate maybe 8 to 10% of the market value, and then that will be a quick way to determine whether you need to do a short sale or not. And so, but the most important item that you probably need to know is, if you're an investor or an agent, you need to get the mortgage balance from the homeowner, and that's sometimes you need to def, def, definitely look at the mortgage statement, because if they have been late with their mortgage for over a year or 2 years, you're talking about back payments, you're talking about penalties, interest, and all that stuff, and that accumulates very quickly as as they're in the delinquent phase. And not only that, there's attorney fees as well, other fees associated, and as well as escrow of property taxes, PMI if there is PMI. So all that stuff gets accrued, and the balance starts going up and up. And so if you don't know that, the best way to get that information is from the homeowner, and ask for the copy of the mortgage statement. And so I hope that, let's see if there's any, if you have any questions that, with regard to what I just talked about, for those that just did show up on this live cast, I just talked about whether, how do you determine quickly whether if a property that's in foreclosure, as an agent or an investor, you're looking at this property. How do you quickly determine whether you need to do a short sale or not? And sometimes what happens a lot of times, what I've seen, where agents come to me and they say, the homeowner owed this much balance, so we try to sell it for this amount. Didn't get any offers, and so now they have to lower it, and now that it gets into that into that price range where now it's you're short by a certain amount just because you had to lower the price to get a a an offer, an offer, any type of offer. Okay, and then once it goes into short sales, then in the last situation that we had, the agent was bombarded with offers or inquiries as a result of lowering the price and stating that the property is a short subject to a short sale or lender's approval, and she got bombarded with a bunch of calls. So that's the kind of things that you want to have is getting calls or getting uh, leads as a result of having a deal or situation like that. All right. I hope this was helpful. Um, this is a shorter session than normal. For those that, give me 1 second. For those that don't, this is Real Estate Life 360, and this is the community. And the main focus, what I've after doing this for probably about a year or two, uh, my main focus on Real Estate Life 360 is focus on building your business, building leads, and building your business, systemizing it so you can scale and grow your business. That's really what um, this community is about. And then uh, the second um, the second thing that I really want to focus on is building a community of active professionals, active, because at the end of the day, I was just talking to some of my coaching members today this morning, and because as a profession, as when you're in this business, you as a solopreneur or as an agent, whether you're an agent investor, it could sometimes get because you're doing this, building your business, especially when you first start out by yourself. It could you're building it by yourself, but sometimes just being able to just meet with like-minded professionals, like-minded people, I think goes a long way. And so, with that said, what we're doing is we're doing a virtual meetup this next coming Tuesday from it's October 27th from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. While this meetup is specifically for investors, I encourage maybe agents, if you're watching this and you're an agent, check us out. I may take the investor focus out, and maybe make it a meetup for real estate professionals, so that you can network with like-minded people. This physical meetup is not going to be a Zoom session. It's going to be using a platform that enables you to have sessions, enables you to have a speed networking session where you meet one-on-one, 3-minute increments. And so we're going to switch off. So it enables you to have those speed networking sessions, so you have the ability to meet other people as well. And that, let me show the link here. That is the link that will redirect you to the current month's meetup that's coming up. So October, November. Um, uh, so we're scheduled it for October 27th, next Tuesday, from 6 to 8 o'clock. And then, so that's really what I'm mainly focused on, is those two items. It's helping you your build your business and lead generation, and that's one way to really build up your business. Is you got to get leads into your business. And then second of all, is building community. All right, I hope this was helpful. If you have any comments or questions, you can find me on my social media profile is or username, whatever you call it, is Paul White Kim 360. On any social media, you can search for me is Paul Y Kim 360. And if you have any questions that you want to ask me, and probably in starting in November, I'm going to start answering questions that I have in I guess my backlog of questions that I need to answer. You can email me at paul@paulykim.com. All right. I thank you for watching this live cast, and I look forward to seeing you at our local at our virtual meetups, or you call it the online. And I hope to see you. And chime in. Let me know where you are. If you have any questions, put your questions below. And thank you for watching this live cast. All right.